Welcome to Adobe Photoshop interface. Using the interface. This is kind of my own setup, an old one, but you can customize it any way you want. You can also press the F key to switch between various display modes, which will change the way the interface looks. Make it tighter or just open the way you want it. And you can move any of these windows around. You can move the toolbar around or such. So the first one there is the menu bar with File, Edit, Image, Layer, Select, Filter, View, Window, Help. Then you got the toolbar with all the tools. You've got the tool-specific menu, so when you have a tool selected, there's your menu for that. You have the current foreground and background colors. You have your current picture canvas, which is here where you can draw on, and then you have unused space. You have other windows there that you can expand out. The first one here in display is the info window, then the history window, and then we have the layer window. The layers window, start with that. First one there is blending mode. You can change the blending modes like multiply or screen. We have edit locks, the current layer. We have layer visibility, that's the eyeball here to hide the layer or unhide it. Then we have the layer thumbnail, which you can double click to add layer effects. You have the layer name here, which you can double click to edit the name or right click rename. You have the current layer that is selected, it's highlighted in blue. You have opacity, which 100% means you can see that layer, 0% would make it completely transparent. You have additional layer options where you can click that drop down. We have the chain icon for multiple. If you have multiple layers selected, you can hold shift and click this to link the layers together. Edit layer effects. Then we have masking, and we have that brightness and contrast and other filters there. Add new group, and so on. You get the point. So moving forward, we have the history window. This is most useful to keep track of all the actions performed. So, and they go in this order. The first one, A, that is your original state. So if you ever want to come back to when you first open it, there you go. B, that's all your actions starting from the top. Most recent would be at the very bottom. That would be C, which is kind of distorted there. And D, you can click on any of the history pieces, but be careful, you can only go back so far. You can click the grayed out states. And if you want to edit the number of states, you can go to the history list by going to Edit Preferences, Performance, and then History and Cache. Moving on to the info window, we have here your A, which is the RGB and CMYK data, the color. B is your position, X and Y, the width and height for, which is C, and then document size, picture size, and then E will have other useful information. Moving on to transform controls. So if you go up to your menu bar and go to Edit Transform, we have a list here of transform controls. So you can just read through that, scale all the way down to flip vertical. So we have a cropping example. On the left, we've cropped it to the one on the right. Keep in mind, this is cropping to a selection, but you can also do a manual crop if you don't have anything selected. And C is the shortcut, or you can go to Image Crop. Now, image size. This would be the dimensions or document size of your image. Here you can also change the resolution, which will make it bigger, and you can do scaling or constraint proportions, and then you can sample, which has two useful options, which you can read that as the slides are going to go fast in this presentation. Feel free to pause and read more if needed. Alright, moving on to canvas size. So our canvas, so we have an example here. This is 305 pixels by 305 pixels. A pixel is the smallest unit, which we'll be talking in class about. And over here we've resized the canvas so that we get an extra 200 pixels over here. So you can see we've changed the width here to 500 pixels. So this image on the right is 305 pixels by 500. To rotate the canvas, you can just go to Image, Rotate Canvas, and just do one of the 90 degrees, and it would automatically rotate the whole canvas. That means it rotates every picture in your Photoshop file. The grid, which is useful for making 2D textures or lining anything up, even if you're going to use it in 3D game design for texturing, we can turn on the grid. Moving on to adjustments, if we need to make adjustments to your images, here's the two common ones: hue and saturation, and levels, which I use quite a bit. We'll go over the shortcuts in class. So we have hue and saturation, where you can colorize it, or you can change the hue. You can desaturate it or saturate it. Going on to essential shortcuts, we'll have a poster in class you can look at as well, but here's some if you wanted to go over or memorize these. The easiest ones are going to be X for toggling the colors, and brush, B for brush, E for eraser, and so on. You can look at that list. Here we have some tips and tricks listed here to explain a few things. You definitely want to read over this. It'll make everything a lot easier in Photoshop for you. Keep in mind this checkered background is transparent. Now some time to have some quiz fun. Moving on to the questions for the interface. We have the layers quiz, so you can answer the questions 1 through 12 and just select what the answer is for each one of these.